Hi lovely people, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for your support. If this is your first time, kindly help us by hitting on that red icon to subscribe. Also touch the notification bell to be the first to be notified whenever I upload a new video. So now today's class we shall be looking at how to make a very simple A-line gown with front facing. I'll be using this net lace for the facing. Okay, so the measurement we'll be needing is the shoulder, the bust, the half length, the waist, the armhole, the sleeve, the hip measurement, and of course the length of the dress. Okay, so I have my fabric cutted out into two here because of the length of my client. The short length is 48 inches, so I'll be of course you know that Ankara is usually 45 inches, so turning it this side won't work, so I have to cut it out straight to get the actual length that I'm working with. So I'll be cutting the front piece first before cutting the back piece. So I'll use the front to cut out my back piece. Okay, I folded my fabric using the highest body measurement that we have, which is the hip measurement. I have my hip to the 48 inches. So when you are folding, you have to divide it by 4 inches, then add up your allowance so that you won't end up folding excess. Okay, so 48 into 4 will give us 12 inches. So here I have up to like 15.5 inches, which is okay for both the allowance for the seam and the allowance for the sewing. All right. Okay, so for the length I have 49.5 inches, which includes my folding allowance. Remember we said that the actual length that we want is 48 inches. Okay, so my measurement will be starting from this point. The measurement will be starting from this point. I'll just mark a straight line here. Okay, from this point now I'll go ahead to take order of my measurements. So from the shoulder to my waist is 18 inches. Okay, so from the waist to the hip line is 9 inches. Okay. So here I will take our shoulder measurement, which is 17 inches divided by 2 to give us 8.5 inches. Okay. Then I'll mark 3 inches for shoulder slope. Then at this 8.5, I will come down by 1 inch for our shoulder slope. So from here now I will mark our armhole measurement. The armhole I'm working with is 18 inches into 2 to give us 9 inches. So from this 1 inch now I'll mark my 9 inches. So at this point now I'm going to make a straight line. Okay, so you can also, to be sure, take your 8.5 inches, then connect it to this upper measurement that you marked here. And I'll also go ahead to connect my shoulder slope, the 1 inch to the 3 inches. All right, so here I'll go ahead to impute my body measurement. The bust I'm working with is 42 inches. When divided by 4, it will giving us 10.5 inches. So from this folded part now I'll mark my 10.5. Then remember I said that this is an A-line gown, not fitted. Okay, not too fitted, not too bogus. So just a little bit of ease is okay for it. So at the bust measurement I'll be adding only half an inch. Okay, at the bust measurement I'll be adding half an inch. Then for my seam allowance I'll be adding 1.5 inches for my seam allowance. So here at my waistline, the waist I'm working with is 35 inches divided by 4 to give us. So at the waistline, 35 divided by 4 will give us 8.75. So at this waist I will be adding 1 inch for ease. Okay, 1 inch for ease and 1.5 for seam allowance. Coming to my hip line, the hip I'm working with is 48 inches divided by 4 to give us 12 inches. And at my hip line, I'll be adding 1 inch for ease and 1.5 for seam allowance, totaling of 2.5 inches. Okay, so what I have here altogether is 14.5 inches. So I'll just take this 14.5 down to the hemline. Okay, I'm going to take it down to the hemline. So this hemline now will mark 14.5 inches. So I'll go ahead to connect all those lines. Just go down straight. Okay, then connect this. So for our armhole, it's either you use your French curve or you just take the half of those, which is 4.5. So go ahead to connect this to the bust measurement. Okay, then I'll come out by 1/2 inch here. Then I'll connect this 1/2 inch to the bust measurement. This is for our front armhole, while this one is for the back armhole. Okay, then I'll connect those threads to meet up with this line. Okay, so for our neckline, the neckline I'll be working with, I'll be using 3 inches. Okay, then I'll be using 4 inches. So this now is for the front, while for the back I will just be removing 1.5 inches. So I'll just connect this. Remember, we are using this to cut out our back piece. Okay, all right, so I haven't done this now. Just go ahead to cut out here well to eliminate any bulginess, any sharp edge, sorry. Okay, thank you. So I'll just go ahead and trim this out. Hope it's clear enough. Okay, so I'm cutting out the back piece first. Okay, as you can see, I just cut out the back armhole first before I will cut out the front armhole. Remember, I said I'll be using this piece to cut out my back, so I don't need to cut out the front armhole. It will not give me exactly what I want. So for the neck, I won't be removing anything for the neck first until I cut out the back piece. Okay, so this is the back piece. I'll go ahead to cut it out using my front piece. Okay, I've cut out the neckline and of course the armhole. So I'll go ahead now to, I've also cut out my front neckline and that of my armhole. So I'll go ahead to cut out the facing. I won't place this thing like so. I'm going to cut this out. I'm going to cut out the neckline. Okay. Okay, so you just determine where you want it to stop. Okay, I think This is our bust. Okay, this is the half length. I think somewhere here is perfect. So I'm going to connect this like so to meet up to this armhole. Okay, so just connecting this to meet to this armhole. So I'm going to cut this out like this. So I'll be placing this here. Alright, I'll be placing this like so. Then I'll use my velvet bias. I'll use my velvet bias to seal it up, to seal up the mouth like this. Okay, I'll use it to seal up the mouth. This is what I mean. I'll use this to seal up the mouth. Like this. So at the end of the day, we'll be having something like this. Okay, all right, so this is all for this. I'll just go ahead to cut out my lining. You can as well just cut out your facing if you don't wish to put a lining to your own fabric. But for this, I'll be cutting out a lining that I will use to turn it. But I will, first of all, before I turn it out with the lining, I have to first of all match this, stitch this to the body. Okay, I'm going to be stitching out this neck like so. Stitch out this part, or you can as well use your gum to do so. Then I will stitch up here, then stitch up this before I now turn it with my lining. Okay, I'm just trying to cut out my pocket. Okay, so this is the size that we cut out during the our armhole side. So I'm just using it to form my pocket. Okay, so I'll stitch out this is two pairs. I'll stitch it out like so, leaving like 1 inch. Okay, I'll just stitch it out leaving like 1 inch that I'll open up to attach by the both side of the dress. This will be facing the upper part, while this will be facing the down part. The curved side will be facing the upper part, while this will be facing the down side. So this is all for the pocket. So we'll go ahead now to cut out our sleeve, and that will be all end of the cutting. Then we'll go over to the machine to cut out the main, to sew it out. Okay, so this is what I have for my sleeve. I have a length of 16 inches here. I'll be putting an elastic at the down part. Okay, so here I have my 4 inches for the calf's height, and the armhole is 9 inches, allowance of 2 inches, making it 11 inches. 5 inches. So go ahead and connect this with a straight ruler. Okay, so I'm going to be going this way to meet up to this point. Then I'll go back like this to connect here. So coming down here, I'll be using straight line like so. Okay, and you can as well just use all this, anyone you want. it's kind of a little bit loose, okay, a little bit loose sleeve, but I don't want to pleat it at this upper part. That is why I use the actual this without adding any extra allowances, the actual cap height, without adding any extra allowances to it. If you want to know how to cut a perfect sleeve, I will put in a description I will put in a link at the description box. You can just click on it and watch on how to cut a perfect sleeve. So for this sleeve, I won't be cutting a lining for it. So I'll just cut lining for only the main bodies. Okay. All right. Okay, so as you can see, I've attached my facing. Okay, then use my velvet bias to finish it off. Alright, then I've turned it with the lining. I've fixed up my zip. I'll just go ahead now and fix my sleeve. Okay, I'll fix my sleeve, and of course I'll also be adding this velvet bias at the mouth of the sleeve. Then I will attach my pocket. Okay, I'll attach my pocket and I'll close it up. And that will be okay. I'll fix up the pockets. Right from the armhole, I came down by 6 inches. Then I fixed my pocket. Remember, I said that this cuffed part will be facing the upper part, okay, while this other part will be facing the down part. So from there, I measured 6 inches from my half length. I'm sorry, from the armhole down. Okay, then I left 7 inches from this place. I marked 7 inches where the pocket will be. Okay, so this is the pocket. I've inserted it, so I'll just go ahead now to turn it. Then I will do the finishing part of the sleeve. Okay,